Ryan, I see your icon, but I haven't heard you yet. Are you there? I might just not be able to hear you again.
I can't hear him either.
Fair warning, Ryan. We can't. Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Every week with the Tuesday game session, for whatever reason, doesn't pick up my microphone, so I have to keep plugging it into different USB slots so it works. No rhyme or reason behind it whatsoever.
Technology, gotta love it.
Damn it, Caden. Well, at least now we know he's the first to die. All right, Amanda. So now that you've had a whole week to strategize a way to get us out of this mess that you got us into, I'm sure we have nothing to worry about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Terrific.
Mm-hmm. Well done.
Man, I'm glad that you're so confident in your own plan that you're even laughing about it.
Yes, it's going to be memorable, to say the least. I mean, I have no weapons on me, my pajamas. It's the worst that could happen.
Yeah, this is going to be great because I have no idea what you guys are doing.
Yeah, you're going to be caught so off guard.
I'm over here just like sharpening my new bow. Where'd all my ammo go?
Oh, we sold all your ammo. We figured you wouldn't mind. We just kept you one arrow. So just go claim it every time you shoot it.
Oh, this is going to be really confusing. I don't even know how to use a +1 arrow in this system. Hey, Ben.
Hello.
How's it going?
Oh, you know.
Oh,
For the
you know.
+1 arrow, can't you just add it to the bonus damage?
Yeah, but only if I'm
Who would
using
give you
it.
+1 arrows?
I don't know.
He gave himself a
DM.
+1 arrow.
Oh, well, I'm taking those away.
What?
Oh!
Ah,
In that case, let me find another magic item.
Nope.
Wand of I win.
I've been far, far too kind to you guys and given you far too much stuff.
I
I
haven't
don't
even got to
believe
use it yet.
that. Oh, you're like, yeah, I'm going to make you guys combat before I even give you anything. Yeah, I'm naked. Fight.
Yeah, about that.
We're worse than naked.
Oh,
don't even
no.
have our skin.
Oh. Jesus. Let's go with the...
So, it's a real good thing somebody said something. I'd forgotten that I left you guys on that cliffhanger.
I have not forgotten that cliffhanger.
What
Haunting my
cliffhanger?
dreams.
No, we're in a city. We're nowhere near a cliff.
That's true.
Okay.
My
Well, it's Chip's
uncle-
birthday. So he was thinking he was probably going to have like a special dinner waiting for him when he got home at 10:30 tonight. So Numa and Caden may just be, asleep upstairs or something.
Oh, jeez. Or the first to die.
So we could have done this last week. You just wanted to torture us.
Well, neither one of them was here last week either.
I'm saying.
So, give me just a moment. Get everybody set up. Let's see, Octavia, you were taking off the stairs. Oh, sure.
I have shoes on right now. I'm just still caught off guard. It's not even nice.
Hey, try to be nice. You try very hard to be nice. Now, one problem I've got is that I don't have any 2-level in that. So we're going to pretend.
You're breaking up really bad for me. I don't know if you're for anyone else.
Yeah, a little bit.
Breaking up is taking long pauses in segments.
Like robots.
Well, turn your robot off. Now's not the time, Amanda. Now's not the time.
Hmm.
All right, Octavia, all you have to do is kill all of them before they take their first turn, and we should be fine.
I got this.
Oh,
Okay.
Damage them all.
we probably
So,
don't
does
even
everybody
have to go
want
through it.
to roll me some initiative?
Doke. Even those of us upstairs?
No, not you. Sorry.
All right.
Just Amanda.
Just me.
Amanda,
Everyone, just me.
the guard captain, and all his guards. Okay. So, at the beginning of round 1, it looks like the guard captain is acting before Amanda.
Damn you, initiative.
So, all the guards who would have been acting before him have to wait on his signal. And let me put him on there. So, he raises his hand, and as he stands up from the table, and on that signal, guards start rushing in through all the different openings at the inn. So,
All of the openings.
Even the chimney.
the first guard
Here.
comes. I better lock the tokens. First guard comes charging in the back door, and he kind of comes up behind the bar and is looking around, trying to spot wherever any action might be. And not a whole lot's going on. Next, guard 1 comes diving through the window, and he takes up position right next to this table. being very dramatic about this. He's like, ha! Next guard comes running in. And he decides he's going to jump over the counter. And he takes up a ready position. And this guy comes charging through the main front door. And he kind of stops there, standing, guard. The third one comes charging in on the back door. And he actually hops on top of the bar. He's definitely overdramatic.
At least they're enthusiastic.
And Octavia, now it's your
Hmm. Okay. I am going to continue my way up the stairs. Can I do diagonally, or do I have to go around whatever way you tell me? I'll go.
Yeah, you can do that. I'll say you're like swinging around the banister.
I'm going to make my way upstairs, and on the way upstairs, I would like to cast this to Aravan, and I will say,
hang on a second. A creature with which you're familiar. All right.
and I'm going to say, there are guards surrounding the building. Get out now. Get to the chopper. Not the chopper part, but the rest of it.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. Where is that now?
So, Aravan, you hear this voice in your head. There are guards surrounding the inn. Get out now. Do you respond?
Are you all right? Do you need assistance, Octavia? What did Xavier do?
That's pretty much all you get before the spell expires.
Yeah.
So, Octavia, you're now like upstairs, basically.
Yeah. I go as far as I can, but that was the end of the building, so.
Yeah, I know.
I know you know, but I mean, I'm saying it just in case.
So, I assume you're like double moving to like the rooms upstairs.
I can't double move because that was an action, but
Oh,
yes,
okay, so.
I'm moving as far as I can.
All right. Another guard comes charging, like pushing through one of the windows. Okay. Aravan, you can now roll me initiative.
Woo! Boom!
And it is your turn.
All right, I would like to spend, presuming that I was like asleep when I got this message, spending my first action like equipping my shield, since I don't have time for the full-blown armor, and then scooping up
Oh, yeah.
scooping up a blade.
Speaking of armor and stuff, I don't think I get that advantage on my initiative because I don't have my armor on. That's not bad.
Your shield gives you the advantage on initiative, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is the game map broken for anybody else or just me?
I think just
The
you.
map?
Yeah.
I can see the map.
Oh, now it's loading.
I shared it. I don't know why you
No,
didn't do
it shared, but then it went all like techno. It's fine now. I just had to reload it.
So, Aaron, you equip your shield.
Grab my sword and just kind of wait on the inside of my door, like keeping the door closed. Just standing at the ready for first sign of whatever bursts through the door.
All right.
I don't even know
And
how to
Xavier,
finish it.
Yes.
I see.
It's late in the evening. It's 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be asleep, or do you think you'd be awake?
I would be awake. No, I would be sleeping.
Okay.
I'd definitely be sleeping.
Then make me a perception check at disadvantage.
Certainly. Disadvantage.
DC 10.
Perception. 7. Still sleeping.
Yep, still sleeping. Okay. So, back to the top of the round. Once again, what was the captain's name? Captain Barry or something?
Pull it up right now. Barian, yeah.
All right, so Captain Barian calls out, "There's no need to run. We have the inn surrounded. Can't escape." And he starts just slowly making his way around the table.
Cocky bastard. He's got a good point there. Mm-hmm.
And he then says, he points to a couple of the guards. Like, you, get back outside and watch the upper floors.
Mm-hmm.
And the first guard who charged in nods his head and runs back outside.
Poor guy.
He's really excited.
He also says, "You get off the bar." And the two who came bursting through the windows are kind of like, yeah. And so he takes off and goes back outside.
Not back through the
Through
window.
the door?
Through.
Yeah, through the door. This one just kind of takes up another position in the room, as does this one, guarding the door. This guy gets down off the bar. He jumps back down behind it. Octavia.
I'm going to keep moving, assuming I'm close enough to Aravan's room maybe now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this inn is not very big, so with you moving, another 30 feet, you can get to, well, if you double move, you can get to any of the rooms. No trouble.
Okay, I'd like to burst open through his door.
Okay. Ervin, make me a perception check with disadvantage.
All right.
Okay. So, Octavia, as you come barreling upstairs, all he can hear is running footsteps, and then his door crashes open. Ervin, make me an attack roll.
All right.
As you've warned him, run.
Boom!
Well, that's going to hit.
Yeah.
Chop her head clean off.
All right.
Divine Smite.
I will give you half damage because as you're swinging down, you recognize that it's Octavia, and you stop. You don't swing all the way through.
Pull back.
Curse this woman.
But Octavia, you're going to take 6 points of damage.
Okay.
I deserve that.
I
Would you like to say anything before your turn ends?
Yes. Evan, they've come for you. They've got the place surrounded. I don't know how to get you out. And then I would like to target Eravan. And where did it go? 1 second.
we still in Waterdeep?
Yep.
Yes.
And we haven't gotten our magical shit yet.
Nope.
Oh, I don't have.
So when I roll for my oath bow, it's just standard.
This, that, and I'll put the. So you know what it is.
All right. Anything else you'd like to do?
That's all I got. I don't know. I thought about banishing you, but it's probably not nice. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. I thought about maybe he'll have a better idea. So they're coming for him.
Airman, you have just delivered a wound to your companion, and she's cast some sort of spell on you.
Apologies, Octavia, and I'll reach my hand forward and heal her up for the same amount that I just dealt damage to her. So she's going to get 6 back to cast lay on hands on her.
All right.
Mm.
Be sure you debit 6 hit points from your lay of hands pool.
All right.
And watch out for the flying cookware.
It's a real thing.
What is Zep doing here? Oh my god.
Just getting cry.
And I would also like to be like, so who's here? Why are they after me? And where are the others?
Okay, well, that's going to be your turn. Unless you had other ideas.
That's pretty much it for right now, because Aaron is still not very clued in on what the heck is going on here.
Okay. All right. Xavier, maybe another perception check at disadvantage.
Certainly. Could use a thunderous smite about now.
And it was the last.
I don't know.
15.
I recall being scolded very heavily the last time I used one. So,
So, Xavier, at this point, you hear running feet in the hallway, and it kind of jerks you out of your sleep.
Do I hear Octavia screaming from getting hit with a sword?
She took it like a champ.
I'm a champ.
I'm sure I heard it, Airvan. I quickly throw my bow over my shoulder, pull out my dagger, and I peer out into the hallway to see what's going on.
Okay, and as you peer out in the hallway, all you see is that the door to Aravan's room is open.
All right. Well, I will, dagger at the ready, stealthily move towards his doorway along the wall.
That'll have to wait till next turn.
On my next turn.
All right. Captain Barian continues calmly making his way up the stairs. And with his movement, he's able to get to the top of the stairway. He calls out, Aravan Solvacus, son of House Solvacus. I am here to place you under arrest for the willful murder of your mother, whose name I don't remember off the top of my head, sorry.
It's alright,
Dear
she's dead.
mommy.
Jarlena.
For the murder of your mother, Jarlena Solvacus. Yield quietly and come with us. And he's just kind of standing at the top of the stairs, waiting to see what happens. This is pretty much everybody else. Octavia.
I'm gonna look to Aravan and say, well, that just about sums it up, doesn't it? And then God, I have to say you have to go through me first. And I'll stand guard like in front of Aravan's room and I'll wait. Stand off now.
Are you in the hallway or in the room?
I'm still kind of in his doorway-ish.
Okay.
So I'll step into the hallway for dramatization. That's a thing.
For dramatic effect.
Yes.
All right. Boldly and without armor or shoes, Octavia steps out of the hallway and says,
You have to get through me first.
Aravan.
Aravan is going to reach his hand up to Octavia's shoulder to try and pull her to the side. While saying to her, I'm not going to let everyone in our party suffer for my actions in my past. Step aside, Octavia, and I might be able to get you out of this. You all out of this.
Oh. Luckily, it's not my turn because I don't have a response yet.
Aravan, are you going to do anything else?
If she doesn't move, I will Misty Step to the other side of her.
Octavia, do you let him pass, or do you try to block his way?
I do stand firm, but I'm probably easy for him to kind of shove aside slightly. I'm stubborn, but I'm you know what? I'm not going to fight you. My fight's with him. But
okay.
Damn it.
Sounds like we have a contested strength roll.
Do it.
Right.
Strength check or save?
Just check.
Ooh. Ooh.
Octavia stands strong.
Very strong.
Aravan's not trying to hurt you or anything. He's just firmly trying to move you, and you're just nope. And you feel his hand just disappear from your shoulder, and you see him reappear directly in front of you.
And I would like to have left my sword behind me in the room as I Misty Step out.
Sure. And as you look down the hall, you see a man that you recognize. It's been a few years since you've seen him, and he's wearing a captain's uniform, whereas before he was just a lieutenant. But
he's very handsome.
He is very handsome. And you see who you knew as Lieutenant Barian standing at the end of the hall.
I surrender freely, and my traveling companions can go of their own free will.
I had
These
no
are the
wish
conditions of my surrender.
I had no wish to involve anyone you might be traveling with. As much as it pains me to see someone I considered a friend in these conditions, I'm here for you and none other.
as so does it pain me to see one so good-hearted as you once were, still enslaved by the thralls of a liar.
I have seen the evidence with my own eyes. I know it was you who murdered your mother. I'm sure you have reasons, but that is not in dispute. And with that, he starts walking forward.
And I'll walk up to meet him.
It would seem that you intend to be civil about this.
There's no need for more unnecessary bloodshed on behalf of Imperius.
Then I will trust to your goodwill and our once upon a time friendship. I will not belittle this by chaining you, but I must ask that you come with me.
Then I will do so.
He turns around and starts walking downstairs.
When he turns, I'd like to kind of call out after him, and I'm going to say, you're doing a great injustice on the world. There are greater evils at work here.
He looks back at you and says, "Dearest Octavia, I know much of the evils of this world, and I do what I can to fight them, but I have been searching for him for some years. It is time he answered for the evil he did."
I'd like to look back over my shoulder towards Octavia and basically kind of let her know where to meet that Arcanist dude with the gauntlet.
Okay. So assuming you follow quietly,
Yep.
he rounds up the guards. You know, they haven't broken anything, but they've definitely startled the couple of people at the inn. And
I would also like to ask where they're taking him, so I can find him, break him out later.
there's but one place to take him. Back to see his father. To answer for what he has done.
I'd like to stop.
I'm sorry, I'm unfamiliar with the geography of this area.
I'd like to
Don't know where
stop in my footsteps and say in his direction, you can take me to the city guard or any magistrate of justice, but I will not be answering to Imperius himself.
You're familiar with the ways of Waterdeep. This is a matter for Imperius and his house. As a... Oh crap. As an envoy from the elves, he has certain diplomatic rights.
Diplomatic rights that should have been stripped from him the moment he issued the orders for my mother's death, for execution.
I have heard these claims of yours before. We have no evidence that your father was involved. You, however, will be returned to your homeland to answer for your mother's murder.
And I'll just repeat one more time, like, you can take me to any magistrate of justice within this city, but I will not be answering to that man.
At which point he looks very frustrated. And at this point, I'm assuming you guys are downstairs. Or you think,
Probably.
or Octavia, would you have called this out before they ever made it down the stairs?
I would have been talking to them before they made it down the stairs, to be honest. But, I mean, I'm sure if they continued walking, I would have been walking behind them.
Okay, well, at this point, I'm going to put you, Erevan, we'll say you got basically to the bottom of the steps.
All right.
And Captain Barion's right there. And you've stopped, and he stopped, and now the guards are looking. And, yeah. I thought you agreed to come along quietly.
And you can take me to any barracks of any city guard, any jailer within this city's walls.
Those were not my instructions. You know that is your father I work for.
I do indeed, and it is because of his corrupt manner that I refuse for him to preside over my own fate.
It is not he who will preside over your fate. It is he who will see to your transit back to your homeland.
That's all he'll be doing. I'd be happy to take him myself.
That is a kind offer, but what I'm afraid I cannot
Very
accept.
reasonable.
While this is going on, Xavier grabbed the rest of his things, was quietly walking up behind Octavia, and I'm going to grab Erevan's sword and put it in the bag of holding.
Okay.
And if I see Erevan, I'll cast a message spell on him.
So, you're kind of having this standoff, and as you two are kind of bartering back and forth, you know, he's clearly trying to avoid any kind of fight. That's not what he came here for, and that certainly isn't what he wants to do.
I'm ready for a fight, guys. With no shoes and weapons, I'm ready.
And, you know, you're basically trying to talk him into, like, you can take me to any of the prisons, you can take me to a guard place. I'll happily go and be placed into custody, just not at my father's home.
Yeah.
And he's, you know, trying to just reason with you to the best of his ability. And instead of role-playing all the arguments out, I'll let you do a DC 20 persuasion or some sort of, what's the word?
Could I maybe
Some sort of social interaction sort of skill.
kind of like for an intimidation check, like basically kind of along the lines of like, I've agreed to come peacefully with you to any jail or the like here in town. If you insist on bringing me to my father, there's gonna be bloodshed, kind of a thing.
Okay.
I'd like to give him advantage on that side because I mean, I don't look very intimidating right now, but I'm very intimidating. Standing behind him like at the ready. Like, look, he's being reasonable. Don't fuck with him because I will shoot you with my eyes because I don't have a weapon.
You will wound him with your lover's eyes.
Ooh,
Right.
Knives like daggers.
Sure, you can make some sort of intimidation check along the lines of, if you're not reasonable with me, this will become bad for you.
All right. Ooh, almost.
Did he get advantage on it though? I'm
No,
behind
sorry.
you. What? I'm intimidating even though I'm in my pajamas.
You do look very intimidating in your pink fuzzy pajamas.
I left my slippers, my bunny slippers, in the room for a reason.
And now he is going to make a persuasion check on you. And, he's basically making the argument of, look, I've got a job to do. I've got all these people with me. If this gets nasty, there's no guarantee either of us get out of this alive or that your friends do either.
Chip?
Yeah, Scott
Happy
is working.
birthday!
Hallelujah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to... Nobody else is singing?
I'm in time to play the crew. Happy birthday to you.
Awesome. In time to save the crew.
So,
Monk for hire.
Aravid, what is your charisma score?
A 14.
Okay. So I'm going to say that his DC to kind of talk you out of violence is going to be let's say a 16. Does that seem fair?
All right.
Basically, your intimidation check.
Meet or beat his intimidation?
Yep. Okay, so he does not exceed your intimidation. He begrudgingly starts to agree, okay, I will take you to a holding place where I know the people who run it, and I will, communicate that with your father, and we'll see what to do from here.
All right.
He's not happy about it because it's not what he was ordered to do, but he's willing to work with this to avoid the bloodshed.
All right.
Very reasonable.
So,
Glad he's far away.
this tense standoff took a good 10 minutes to resolve.
Oh, okay.
As
That means I
you're
got my
both-
armor on. I've been sitting up at the top of the stairway, waiting.
Yeah, you've been watching this debate. I'm assuming you didn't sneak off to go put your armor on just because they were talking.
Xavier's
well, I
at
said
the
I
top
went
of the
back and
stairs,
grabbed my
buck
stuff,
naked,
so-
putting on his
You
pants.
have certainly grabbed your stuff, but and you got his sword and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, I got his sword. I'm not actually. I'm gonna hold it in my hand because it looks badass. But I'll message Aravan and say, "Do you want me to kill him?"
Aaron, this voice just pops into your head.
And I will say it out loud, loud enough to probably make sure that upstairs can hear, knowing that I still have some compatriots up there, and not knowing I didn't see everybody on my way out. Hoping that they can maybe get some clue of what's going on. Be like, we will be going with them peacefully, and there will be no bloodshed. We're all honorable men here.
I'm gonna cross my arms at that.
Okay.
I
So-
stealthily poke Octavia in the ribs because she doesn't know I'm there.
Fair enough.
Just
Nice
to
to
spook
spin
her.
around and smack whatever touched me. You're about to get bitch slapped. What do I
I'm
roll?
dexterous.
So,
Roll, I'm ready. I want to hit him.
Roll
I want to
bitch
hit
slap.
something. I was prepared for a fight. I don't have a bitch slap.
well, these gentlemen managed to talk themselves out of a fight.
Yeah. You can still swing, Amanda.
That's up to you.
I was gonna swing
It's
it.
on you.
I was gonna swing at Xavier because he decided to poke me in the ribs, and I'm like, "Who the fuck touched me?"
Do it.
But I don't know what to roll. Should I roll a strength
Just
check?
roll an attack.
D20.
Plus strength.
Exactly what happened to Octavia upstairs.
Ah,
Yep. That's not going to do it.
No, but I'm still swinging around like I'm swatting a fly or something. Something touched me.
Okay. Something touched you.
Yep.
Now you know.
Since she's a little bit lower on the stairs, I kind of squat down so I'm eye to eye with her. And I said, I'll just kind of look and point my head down the stairs, and I'll say, put my finger across my throat and raise my eyebrows.
So, as they start to gather up the guards, and everyone is, they kind of form up around Aravan, start escorting him out of the inn. Aravan, make me a perception check.
Cool.
And
Okay.
I'm gonna walk out to the doorway. I'm not gonna step out because I have shoes on. I don't get my feet all dirty. But I'm watching them, what they're doing, kind of the direction they go. I'll walk to the doorway. I'm still crossed, giving Xavier a very weird look after his charades he tried to portray.
So you guys, he's being escorted out, and they turn down the street in Waterdeep and start, just walking off. And
I'll cast
Aravan,
Hunter's Mark on Aravan.
okay,
Since I'm on the second floor, I'll just find a second floor window and I'll cast it on him.
sure.
And this is going to pop up. I'm not doing it now. This is for the sake of, I already did it and I'm keeping track of it.
Yeah.
So that was my, okay.
So, as you're running, or as they're escorting you away, the guards all leave peacefully. You see that there was a group of 10 of them that have now formed up and are following their captain away from the inn. And basically, they just march him off.
I'd also like to cast this so I get an idea as to, because they never really told me where he was going. They said some sort of holding area, so I cast that on Aravan so I can get a general idea as to what direction it will be in. Not knowing he cast a 100 mark on it too. So there we go.
All right, that works. So you've got a fix in your mind as well of where he's going, and it looks like he's being taken back towards the castle ward. Do you guys have any plans for what you'd like to do?
I'll be going back upstairs, and I'm going to be suiting up and getting Xavier and Numa to here. I mean, everyone really. I'd be like, guys, what are we going to do? We break them out and get out of here.
You see Xavier
Or
jumping into his
even
armor in the hallway.
So as you guys are prepping and getting ready to possibly go after him, maybe even mount some sort of rescue mission, who knows?
who knows? Yes, that's appropriate.
Possibly waking up Numa and Caden since they slept through it all.
So are we at the no room at the inn?
Yeah, this is the only inn inn map I could find. Yeah, generic inn in Waterdeep.
Am I sleeping in the manger?
You're up on. There's a second story that's not shown. So, Aravan, as you're being marched along, the Captain Barian doesn't seem to be particularly talkative. He doesn't necessarily seem, happy about the fact that he's had to chase you down and find you, and that he's taking you to what he assumes will be your execution, at least eventually. But, he's doing what he feels is right. And as you're reaching one of the principal garrison areas in the castle ward, somewhere with people who report to the open lord of the city and to the council, or to the council of Waterdeep anyway, you see there's a messenger wearing the livery of Lord Neverember.
Oh.
And he approaches the group and looks at you, and then looks at Captain Barian and says, "You are Captain Barian of House Sylvacus?" "Yes." "This letter is for you, and I will need you to surrender this man into my custody." And you can see he's like, "What the hell?" And he opens the letter and gives it a brief review. And you can see he's almost not believing it, but but he seems to kind of accept it. But he's like fighting with himself about whether to make a fuss or not. He says, "I assume you have some proof that this is not simply a forgery." "Well, aside from the fact that anyone who would forge the seal of Lord Neverember would be a fool, I also have this." And he basically shows another document that, Aravan, you recognize as something that is used in Waterdeep to designate people who are acting on behalf of the council. And he shows it, and Barry kind of slumps his shoulders a little bit. He says, "I will be reporting this to my lord. I'm sure he will be protesting. This is a wanted fugitive." "Well, protest all he likes to the council. I'm on council business. I do what they say, not what an ambassador says. You will release this man to my custody and leave."
Holy shoot.
And
Good thing you got the
Barian
council on our side.
says, "I assume I can keep this letter as proof?" "Yes, of course." And he rounds his men up and stomps off. And you're left with this unnamed messenger.
Xavier's going to go and collect all of Aravan's belongings that he left in his room.
Okay.
Well, where are we headed now then?
I'm taking you back to Lord Neverember. He wishes to speak with you.
Well, all right. You have my thanks, I suppose.
It is not I that you should be thanking. I am simply acting on Lord Neverember's behalf. He heard of your plight and thought it best to intervene. Come with me.
And allow me to thank you for your swift movement in heeding your lord's wishes.
I have served Lord Neverember for many years. Swiftness in response is of great value to him. And he's now leading you towards where you know Lord Neverember keeps his home in Waterdeep. Anything you want to do while you're walking?
No.
You're just going to follow along.
Kind of just like awestruck at all this going on. I'm just going to follow along very silently.
Okay.
About how
And-
long has Erevan been gone?
At this point, it's been about 20 minutes.
Okay.
You guys have had enough time to kind of gather your stuff and figure out what you're doing.
So are we gonna go break him out? Octavia?
Of course, we can't just let him rot in jail. Sorry, there's a person here and all the dogs are going haywire,
Hello, friend.
so if I mute myself, I'm sorry. But, yes. Yes, we're not going to let him rot in jail. There's no way. I have a spell on him, so I can see which direction he's going. We can follow him from here, and then we can scout the area, see how many guards there are, and then plan from there our next move.
I also
Luckily,
am
he's not
tracking
going
Erevan.
to. We are so good. Twin sync. Same brainwaves.
Yes.
Because that ham you gave me.
Yes. Very beneficial. Well, I can start running off ahead and see if I can start scouting.
Yes, and we will be behind you. But on second thought, maybe you shouldn't go too far ahead, because, I mean, I have a direction as to where he is, but directions are a little iffy at the same time. So maybe we should just go together.
That's fine enough with me. I mean, I could always
Let
just
me
message you where
get dressed.
to turn.
Let me get dressed real quick. I'm clearly not dressed. for the
You've had
occasion.
20 minutes
So-
to get dressed, so.
Well, I'm dressed. Let's go.
Okay.
It
That's
hasn't
my
only
clothes
been
on.
20 minutes, so
Go.
you sure it's enough time?
Do you need
He's in a
assistance
hurry.
with those
He's
buckles?
Pretty adamant. Don't start that with me, Xavier.
Why not everybody else does?
Hey.
I'm in the middle of a lover's quarrel right now. Okay.
I see. All right, then we should head out.
Yes. After you, I'll correct you if you're going the wrong way. But yes, after you.
And I will send word into your brain if you get lost.
That is a high probability. I appreciate it.
And Xavier starts taking off at a brisk jog.
All right.
On
You
to
start
the
making
thing.
your way towards the castle district. And as you you are able to follow the directions in your head pretty easily. You just kind of keep making turns where it seems appropriate to make turns.
Yeah.
And without too much trouble, you get to where you're going. And finally, you feel yourself, see it, 100th mark lasts for an hour.
Yeah.
So as you're kind of quickening your pace more than what they were, you still probably got about 20 minutes left on your spell. When you get to a very large mansion that is being patrolled, there are guards posted at the main gate, and you're pretty sure Erevan is. You'd have to like circle around the mansion to be really sure, but he's definitely in that direction.
Okay. I'll just walk up to a guard at the gate.
Halt. Do you have an invitation?
No, unfortunately, but my colleague was just taken in here maybe 10 minutes ago. Tall fellow, white hair,
I'm sorry,
not wearing any clothes.
I've seen no one like that come into this place. Ervin, were you naked?
Not naked, no. Just not wearing my armor.
Okay.
Not wearing any armor.
Basically the same as long as you don't have any slippers on.
Streaking!
Strange.
They're like, I'm sorry, unless Lord Neverender is expecting you, I can't let you in.
I see. Well, can we send word? We work for the council.
If you wish to have a message passed for council business,
Yes.
we'll be happy to pass it.
Please. It's of great importance. He has been wrongfully accused of something, and we need to send word. And I'll jot down a message on a script, and
Yeah, he's basically waiting you to give him some sort of message to pass.
yeah, I'll just write down a quick message saying that Erevan's been wrongfully accused and incarcerated, and we need the council's assistance to deal with the situation. And we're outside. Please let us in.
Okay, so one of the guards signals, and another guard from inside the compound comes up, collects the note, and takes it back, and says, I cannot guarantee your message will get a response, but you're welcome to wait out here if you like.
Fair enough. I'm just gonna step over here and wait for my colleagues to catch up with me. And I'll just kind of step back a couple paces so they can still see me, but trying to get back in range with Octavian on them.
Yes, I mean, you're basically standing, there aren't exactly sidewalks, you're kind of standing in one of the lanes amongst all these very nice houses. There are multiple guards at multiple houses kind of keeping an eye on you.
Just give them all a nod, put my hands behind my back, clasp them, and just kind of pace back and forth waiting.
Okay. And over the course of the next 15, 20 minutes, eventually your connection dissipates. You haven't felt it moving in a while, but it does fade.
Yep. Okay.
You still haven't gotten any response. However, it is very likely that Octavia and the rest of your party have found you, since she had the same, general sense of location.
Well, Numa, Octavia, they sent word to the head of this household that we're on council business to get Erevan free. They haven't responded yet. And his last known location, I believe, was in that house, that mansion. And there are a lot of guards watching us.
At as Octavia says, I thought he'd be kept in a holding cell. This looks nothing of the sort.
Well, you know Erevan.
Are we sure this isn't his father's home?
I look for a crest on the gate.
Perfect voice. There is a crest, but you don't recognize it.
Okay.
So, Erevan, you have been escorted inside, and you are taken directly by this your rescuer up a grand staircase inside this mansion to the second story towards the back of the house and into a very large room you would assume to be some sort of office or work area that has a beautiful view out the back of the house through some very large windows onto an immaculately manicured lawn. ERB! And standing looking out at the garden, which is lit by torchlight in the evening, you see a man you recognize from the council meeting as Lord Dagult Neverember. And as your escort knocks the door, he calls enter, and he doesn't turn around until your escort says, Lord Neverember, the man you requested. Then he turns around. He says, thank you, Indok. Your services, as always, are invaluable. And the man bows and backs himself out of the room.
I'd like to take a bow and like, my lord.
Yes, Lord Silvacos. It has been some years since I saw you. I must admit, I was surprised when we met once again at the council chamber. I had heard interesting rumors about you since you disappeared.
I'm sure even the worst of the rumors you've probably heard, there is some glimmer of truth about them.
Yes, well, I do not take it lightly when members of the nobility of the city and their ambassadors are murdered. I, of course, had it investigated, and all evidence I ever found did, in fact, point to you. So, while I do not claim to know your reasons, nor am I particularly worried about them, I am convinced that it was you who murdered your mother. But I also know that when it comes to nobility, there's always more than meets the eye. However, that is not what I wish to speak to you about. You have been called upon to act on behalf of the council. The Grand Council, no less. It has been, well, many decades since a threat dire enough to call together the Lord's Alliance and our other potential allies has faced this realm. So I did not think it worthwhile to have you distracted from the cause that we have set before you. But for my intervention, I do expect recompense.
You have my apologies for having my own past interrupt the orders of the Grand Council. And you have my thanks for what you have done for me. And I intend to repay this in any means I can possibly do so.
That is exactly what I wanted to hear. And he walks over to a table, kind of a sideboard table, and picks up a decanter of wine. Says, would you care for a drink?
Yes, please. It's been quite a day.
And he pours 2 glasses of wine, brings you one. Says, if you wish to sit, please do. Make yourself comfortable.
I'll kind of like nod and thank him, but remain standing.
And he walks back and starts looking out at his gardens again. And speaks to you without turning around. Says, I'm sure you noticed in our meeting at the council that the Hidden Lords have chosen to replace me as the Open Lord of Waterdeep. It was unexpected, and while I disagree with their decision, I will respect it. Lady Silverhand is certainly most capable. I am not entirely sure of the qualities she possesses that I do not also, but that is as it may be. Of course, what I care most for is the good of this land, these people. While Waterdeep is not my true home, and I do seek to rebuild Neverwinter. It has become a home of sorts for me. And I do eventually hope that all the great cities of the coast will ally themselves, perhaps under one leader, clear, strong, decisive leader for all the human lands, to protect us from all the dangers that now face us. You have proven yourself most capable, you and your friends. I do not wish to see us lose such a valuable piece in our attempts to thwart the designs of the Dragon Cult. That is why I have intervened. I am somewhat proud of it. There are many old laws in the books of Neverwinter and of Waterdeep. I have often found them very useful in my exercises of authority. You'll be pleased to know that this one grants Waterdeep rights over any crime committed within her walls, even above and beyond those claims of other lands and other jurisdictions. And while a criminal is in the custody of the people of Waterdeep, his disposition is at the discretion of the council. I am sure my other council members will ratify my decision that instead of turning you over to your father, that we are all better served by you serving as one of our, well, I guess, hero is as good a word as any. So, Well, I am glad that you were willing to take on this task prior to any of this coming about. It is now my instruction, as a council member of the Grand Council, that until such time as I relieve you or the council relieves you of your duty, you shall serve out your prison sentence for the murder of your mother by serving in, well, I'd like to call it the expeditionary force of Waterdeep. Of course, I do wish that you stay healthy and active, but should you be killed on this mission, or any future missions we give you, it will be considered the God's will in punishment for your crimes. How does that sound to you?
That sounds like more justice than I could ever hope for. Thank you.
It is not thanks that I wish. I need your efforts. I need your sword. I need your work. I expect you to report promptly on any of your findings. You may send messages through me, through any council member. But I expect you to lay your life down to protect Neverwinter, to protect Waterdeep, to protect the council. This is my charge to you. Should you fail in it, I will not grieve you, but your name will forever be cursed in the annals of Waterdeep. Your name shall go down as a low murderer sentenced to death for his crimes. Should you succeed in your mission, I am sure there will be many who would wish to hear the circumstances that led you to this impasse. Perhaps even some of the rumors I've heard about the doings of your father could be further investigated.
Upon my life, I so swear that I shall do precisely what has been asked of me, without falter, from this day forward until my last, or at least until I'm relieved.
Excellent. Well, with that taken care of, I'm sure your friends are interested to find out where you are. Do tell Leosin that we appreciate his watchers notifying us of what had happened. I'm sure you will see him again. Pass on our thanks.
I will do.
And with that, it's pretty clear that he's dismissed you.
All right, I will bow once again, make my way out.
And the person who escorted you here, Indok, is waiting outside the room. Says, "Is there anything my lord requires of me?" And as this is as you're opening the door.
Okay.
And he says, "Yes, see our friend out. I'm sure his companions are looking for him. And do you find them somewhere different to stay? I'm afraid that if they return to their current lodgings, his father will attempt to intervene again." "Yes, my lord." And with that, he escorts you back out to the front door of the keep. And he also hands you a message scrawled on a little piece of paper. And you recognize Xavier's handwriting. It says, I believe this was about you. Perhaps you'd return this bit of paper to your friend.
I will do so.
So, back outside.
Hmm.
You guys are still kind of just waiting. It's probably been about 15 minutes since your sense of direction to Erevan faded. And from where you're standing, you can still keep an eye kind of towards the front of the house. And you see the door open, and someone that at this distance you think might be Erevan comes walking out.
Now you see, Numa, if you walk over that fence over there and take a rope, then I can climb. Oh! Someone's coming out of the house.
It's my hero.
Knows him anywhere.
I walk in slow motion as doves fly out.
Hair in the breeze.
So, Erevan, you walk out to the gate. You see your friends are all standing around. What a magnificent sight!
Apologies, friends, for having woken you from your slumbers. But it seems our lodging arrangements will be modified for this evening.
That's no problem. I'm used to moving rooms in the night. And I toss Erevan his sword.
Catch it. Thank you.
If your father comes back around, then, you might have to deal with it.
Indeed, I might.
So, where are we heading?
Indok was just about to lead our way.
Oh.
And he basically gives you directions to an inn in a different part of the city. And says, perhaps you might keep a lower profile this time. And do remember, you need to be on your way soon. Now that your father knows you're here, I'm sure he will have people looking for you.
We'll make sure he's safe. Alright, well, Octavia, don't get lost. And, let's head out. And
Okay.
I'll lead the way since I'm very good with directions.
I will follow you.
Now we'll follow her.
So, Erevan, are you going to take any measures to try to hide your presence?
I will take this opportunity to ask Xavier for that hat of disguise.
I swear, man, I don't have it.
With that, I will add it back onto my inventory. And, I'll spend however long I need to attune to it, but
1 hour.
hood up otherwise.
As he changes his features, I swear I don't have it.
Well, Octavia, I can do that without a fancy hat.
So, you guys get to the inn, a different inn. You settle in. Erevan, you attune yourself to the to the Hat of Disguise. And you're much more careful over the next few days to not be seen as yourself anywhere. And you keep changing your appearance on a regular basis.
Oh, yeah.
So eventually you guys pick up all your magic stuff that you've ordered and customized, and we do all the stuff that we already did before.
Ba-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And now you are prepared to make your way to the Frostskimmer.
Well, the next leg of our journey awaits.
So you get loaded up. This boat that you're going to be traveling in is very reminiscent of like a Viking longboat. It has a crew of about 40. The boat looks fairly. I mean, it's big. It's 60 feet long, probably a good 20, 25 feet wide. There's a decent amount of room. It's not a very deep draft, but there is a little bit of storage space underneath. That's where most of the food, goods, and things go. They've got just enough room for some storage and barrels of fruit and vegetables and meats and all that kind of stuff. And it is basically an open boat, though. There's not really any cabin space down below. And once you get out to sea, you can see that there's a main mast and a sail that provides most of the power. But there's also, 40 pairs or 40 oars that can be rowed if necessary. Wow, that was impressive.
Is this a horse-driven boat?
It sounds like it, but no, it's actually not.
Is there horses on board?
There might be one. You want to roll an investigation check to check that out?
I don't think it's necessary.
Okay.
We can all pile on Erevan's elk.
Silver! So, the boat set sail, and in these waters, the captain is happy to sail day and night on a rotating shift, sailing with the prevailing winds, and he's just heading north. He's following the coastline, basically keeping the coast just in sight, but out to sea as far as he can do that. And just keeps going north.
The crow's nest.
There is not, in fact, a crow's nest.
Well, never mind.
There is kind of a raised platform at the front and back of the boat where there's people can keep lookout and that sort of thing. But
I'll
it's
do that. I'll
Okay.
be up at the front, just kind of using my good eyes.
You have good eyes.
Decent.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting Newman now has big googly eyes.
Yeah, let's not
I'm
bring
no Numa.
I forgot about that.
let's not bring
Big, massive googly
I
eyes.
was just getting over it. Now you've made me self-conscious again.
We really need to
I'm
find
okay with
some
that.
dragon glass to.
I was thinking about
eyepieces.
just actually becoming the blind monk that kicks everybody's butts by just tying a rope, tying something around my eyes so people just think I'm blind.
Slightly see-through though, so it's like that weird mesh that.
Well, I have blind vision for 30 feet, so it's just like, during a fight, it's fine.
Oh yeah,
Most
you
fights.
don't. Yeah, just cover your eyes.
Yeah.
Save us all the trouble, Numa. Put something over those.
At least once a day, like before meals, I'd like to be casting Purify Food and Drink on the portion of food that's going to be the meal, since our last caravan, we almost had an incident with poison food.
Sure.
All right. So I got my 3 attunements.
So, the good news is that because you're on a boat, you're actually making fairly decent time. The wind is not really blowing directly north, but there's enough of a quartering wind that, you know, you can angle the sails and just keep scooting on along. And the trip over the first 2-3 days is pretty much fine. The total 750-mile trek by sea from Waterdeep up to the far north. And actually, I just calculated this at a rough speed of about 8 miles an hour, which I think is a reasonable sailing speed.
Yeah, for a long ship.
Yep. Sailing 24 hours a day will actually get you there in 4 days.
Nice.
Much better than a 10 to 15 mile a day by boat or by wagon.
Next time, remind me to take a ship.
So, each day, you guys kind of just hang out on the deck with the rest of the sailors. And each day it gets a little colder. By the third day, it's getting pretty cold. And on the morning of the fourth day, when you wake up, there's actually like ice in some of the rigging.
Ooh.
And the boat captain, whose name is LaRusta Half-Face. He's been sharing stories with you on the way up there. He's traveled to this part of the world a few times, and in fact, it was a trip to the far north where he got stranded on an ice floe for about a week. That ruined the right half of his face, which is just a scarred mess from severe frostbite. He doesn't really show that off very much. He keeps a leather hood drawn more or less over and across his face to hide that, but also for some warmth. And he's been telling you that once you get far enough up there, it's far too dangerous to travel at night. You'll have to start either mooring to an ice floe, actually pulling yourself up on an ice floe if at all possible, or trying to stay afloat at sea with the sails down and the oars pulled in so that you just move with whatever tides or currents there might be and hopefully not get pushed into or trapped by the ice. And so it's on about day 4, as you're getting close to the evening, you've passed a city off to your right. He's pointed out that that's Luskin, which is the last real trading village or trading place as you're heading up the coast. And from there, he's now planning on kind of mooring at night and going on from there. But he's wanting to know kind of what your plan is. How do you want to approach this hunt that you're on? He says, "It makes no difference to me whether you wish to moor at night or float upon the oceans. It's often more comfortable to moor up on an ice floe where you can at least make a snow shelter, as opposed to staying out on the boat deck. But motoring brings dangers as certain as floating does. Once we get up here, there's all kinds of glaciers and icebergs and flows. It'd be mighty hard to make any distance or know where you're going. Directions kind of lose meaning up in this place. So I hope you know what it is you're looking for. And how you wish to go about finding it.
I vote for mooring and ice shelter.
I'll second that. Yeah.
I like it.
Well, if you wish the more, so will do. Now, we'll be mooring close to the coast on this night. Tomorrow, if the wind holds, we'll be amongst the ice. Once we get there, I'll be leaning on you to tell me what you wish to do. I've been paid well to bring you here, to assist in your search. But it is ye that should be directing it. If you decide on the direction, that's the way we'll go. I'll give you my advice and tell you when you're being fools. But I assume you know more about what you're looking for than I do. Seeing as how you guys are being such a talkative bunch, he goes ahead and keeps sailing. You moor for the night.
Sorry, I thought it was a moment to read.
Well, there's that too. But theoretically, you guys already knew all that.
I didn't. For some reason.
I mean, I guess we didn't do a recap, did we?
No.
It's okay.
No,
I assume from all this that we're looking for
McCath is a tiefling.
McCath.
Knows
Yeah.
about the horn.
You're looking for McCath the Crimson.
I'm gonna use my ranger ability of my primeval awareness.
Okay.
And I'm going to spend 1 minute concentrating, and I can sense if any of my favorite enemies are present within 5 miles of me. And it lets me know. Let's see, the creature's general direction and distance in miles from me.
Okay.
So I'll be doing that periodically, just scanning for humanoid.
How often can you do that?
It just as long as I spend concentration on it.
Doesn't it use spell slots too?
Yeah. I was gonna say,
Well,
I think it uses-
I'm using the revised ranger, so it doesn't use a spell slot.
All right. So, where you guys are on the map, I've zoomed in. Let me update you.
Ooh, ooh.
So, you're about where that little square is. And the 5 miles around you is basically in that square. Like
Not
one of
as
those
helpful
squares.
as I thought it was going to be.
One of those squares is 5 miles.
Hot damn. Okay. Never mind.
So from the center, it's basically the 4x4 block around you.
Okay. I think that might be
Or not
more
4x4,
helpful.
but 2x2.
Yeah. I think that'll be more helpful once we get closer into the ice pack, where apparently this layer is. And
Probably. So
Yeah, I guess for now, we could just have her lead us to where they found the ship of McCaff.
directly into the ice pack.
Yeah.
well, your captain doesn't know where the ship was found.
Ah, okay.
Well, we were told that it was within the sea of moving ice, correct? Which means we'll have to somehow make our way between glaciers, I assume. And
The time we have to do research. Would one of us know the location? Well, Octavia, it's an excellent question.
well, the White Death has a layer in the moving ice.
Yeah, you know that there is this place called the Sea of Moving Ice. And what you've now come to realize is that the moving part is kind of a key aspect of it. So where they found the boat doesn't necessarily mean that's where the boat was when it was abandoned. Doesn't mean that's where it would be now.
So, not like pulled up on a more stationary ice chunk.
So, do we want
So the Sea
to...
of Moving Ice. What about that makes you think there are stationary ice chunks?
Well, it is Amanda we're talking about.
They be anchored.
Anchored ice. The sea is moving. The
The
ice is
Sea
not.
of Anchored Ice.
Sea of moving anchored ice.
I suggest that we try to get up to the cape, at the end, I guess the mouth of the sea, and then I think we might have to trek on foot from there. I don't want to send the ship into the moving ice. It'll be a long walk, but
Trek by foot well, friend.
we don't quite know. We can navigate on foot. No,
On an ice floe.
yes.
It's still a very grand expanse for us to have no idea where we're headed.
Didn't you guys go and study to see where this place was?
Thought we only got like a general idea. Like
Yeah, we
the
did.
ship.
It's somewhere up in the total, like all this broken up ice. It's somewhere in here.
Yeah. Like
Yes.
there's nothing for us to research like specifically where in there. Though.
No.
So I would like to point out, if you want to walk for really long distances on the ice, there's this place over here called the Endless Ice Sea. That might be where you want to go.
We
Well,
can
I
be
was-
the first to find the end.
I was thinking of like at the mouth opening and then walk up towards Icewind Dale, but I don't know. I guess it relative the boat would be able to go through there.
Yeah, I mean,
Treacherous.
is there a town or small camp somewhere where people live? Yes, in fact, there are what are called ice hunters. They were mentioned in the reports from McCaff, and effectively they're Inuits. They have villages along the coast and on some of the small islands that are in the sea.
Yeah, that sounds like the best place to start. Get their take on the White Death and their own stories to see like where we might start headed.
Well, the one thing you know about the ice hunters is that they're nomads. There's not really any settled places. Like they live kind of all through here, but they move as the fish and the seals and.
Well, this is just a predicament.
So that's the goal, is to find one of them, I guess. Don't charge them.
You sure?
I want to find them, not find them.
All right, so I guess we got to sail up into the sea and look for life.
Know of any good fishing locales, little rooster?
So I guess there's a clue in the things that we just keep sailing around till we find this huge iceberg flattened like a plateau across its surface, but ringed by icy peaks. Maybe our captain has even seen this.
As you describe it to the captain, he says, "Well, I can't say I've ever seen such as that. I've seen very large icebergs there, but none that looked like a plateau. I have seen a couple of island peaks, but I don't imagine that's what you're referring to."
I think we'll probably know this when we see it.
If it's as large as you say, I'm sure we will. As I say, I've seen some large bergs, but never one that stood so tall as what you described. Well, I guess tomorrow, when we make it through the Narrows, you'll see. You'll see what it is to know you've truly come north.
I've got my big cloak on now.
Well, bundle up, get some sleep.
I have my goggles equipped, so if it's relatively clear, I can see out to like 2 miles.
And also, rereading that note again, was McCaff working with the ice hunters or like trailing them?
They were like their guides.
But were they, because could also, I also read it as like, you know, she spotted these other dudes doing something, and so she trailed them on her own.
Yeah, it was like she was just following them when she disappeared.
Like maybe these ice hunters aren't good guys either.
And that might be their home base.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That is an excellent question. But what you know is what's there.
Okay. Wasn't sure if like LaRusta might know.
So, when you wake in the morning, you get out there, and the captain is rousing the crew. They've all had a good night's sleep. They have a pretty good idea of what they're in for once they cross the Narrows. And he has them raise the sails after breaking off the ice that's formed overnight, and begins to make his way north. And around about 10 o'clock in the morning, he goes from a generally west by north course. He rounds a promontory of land and starts heading directly north. And at first, what you see is just a few scattered like sheets of ice, not that large, they've been pushed by the wind, either up against the shore, maybe a little bit out to sea. But as you continue to make your way north, mile by mile, you just see more and more of these ice floats. And eventually you see one much larger, what is clearly a iceberg. It's about half the size of the ship you're on.
On the surface?
On the surface.
Oh, jeez.
And as he sees you guys kind of like staring at this thing, he's like, oh, it's not those we have to worry about. That's a wee one. You'll see. When we stop for the night, you said you wish to pull upon the ice floes and take shelter in a snowbank. You'll see. He continues north. Now, which of you would like to roll me a d6?
I'll do it. 6.
Okay.
A bag of holy.
When, as you're sailing north, eventually, it's not quite noon yet. You get to a point where you think you see a boat in the distance. And it doesn't look like your longboat. It's much smaller. And one of the sailors kind of points it out to the captain and says, "Captain, I think that's an umiak out there. I think that's some of the nomads." The captain starts steering in that general direction. And as he, turns the boat and starts getting closer, some of the guys in the smaller, it's like an oversized canoe. And it's got kind of the outriggers things where it kind of helps stabilize it.
Right.
And you see people kind of pulling up nets between a couple of them. And as the boat starts getting closer, they quickly finish pulling in the nets and start paddling away from you.
Are they usually friendly or hostile towards your presence here, Captain?
Well, the ice hunters, they're interesting folk. It really depends on which ones you find. Some, they'll talk to you. They'll offer to sell you fish. Some's like them. It just takes off.
Well, I think that they would be heading towards safety, so we might want to head in that direction.
Well, I don't know that it's safe or wise for us to follow them directly. But we'll keep an eye on the direction they're moving, and we'll try heading that way. If that's what you wish to do.
I think that's our best course of action for right now. Erevan, Octavia, Numa.
If they lead us somewhere hostile, this one's going to be on you. Just kind of shooting them a wink, as I say it.
That's fine.
All right.
We'll keep a safe distance Is the weather relatively clear? Or
Yeah, the weather it's frigidly cold but clear.
okay, so I can keep a 2 mile ish range on that boat, so that should give us enough time to turn and haul ass away if we get ambushed or something.
Okay.
So,
So
I will keep a sharp eye on the boat. I'll let you
Kind
know
of-
if they turn hostile.
you kind of just keep an eye on them, and they seem to be heading deeper into the sea. Kind of a general northerly bearing. So, as the morning passes, and the captain isn't really willing to risk raising the sail up here, too much chance the wind will push you right into an ice floe before you have a chance to react. So, he's got the sailors, not all of them, they're not trying to make full speed, just carefully picking their way through all the ice floes. So your speed has dropped substantially compared to what you were doing on the open ocean, heading this way. But as you're continuing deeper into the sea, you are finding that there are several large icebergs. You're starting to find sheets of ice that extend for hundreds of yards. You see several places where there are seals who've come up onto the ice floe and are just kind of laying there in the sun.
Well, Octavia, did you want another fancy coat?
Jeez.
Xavier, make me a perception check.
Certainly. Straight up perception.
Actually, I think you should get advantage for your glasses.
Yes, I do actually. All right, perception. 20.
All right. So, with your 20, you you see that with your particularly good vision. Oh, wait, I missed a couple of things. LMAO, I'm more for the fur than that skin. However, I can see where the waterproofing could be useful. Damn it, Ben!
Is there any way I can do my primeval awareness while maintaining visual contact on those guys?
I'm gonna say it's
One or
if
the
you're
other.
gonna, if you're kind of trying to keep an eye on them at the distance, you need to concentrate on that, and you're not really gonna be able to concentrate on the other. So, you see, and only you see because of your extra vision.
Yep.
Glimpses of movement on some of the ice floes. Very occasional, but you finally get a good look at one of these creatures, and you see a very large polar bear that is making its way across one of the ice floes. That's a nice fur.
I do not tell Octavia about the giant polar bear.
Okay. All right, would somebody else like to roll me a d6?
I don't know if this helps, but our group can't be lost except by magical means.
Okay.
While tracking
So-
other creatures,
The afternoon passes. Xavier, you're keeping an eye out. You've kind of lost sight of the hunters at this point.
then I'll switch to my primeval.
Okay.
And just try to get sonar going.
Yep. So at this point, you guys are like up here.
And I'll note that I've lost visual sight of them, so I'm gonna see if I can get a sense of where they're at.
So zoom in, so I can get a reasonable feel for this. So I'm gonna say you're basically kind of puttering along at like 2, maybe 3 miles an hour. You're basically at a walking pace now because of the ice. So
Slow and steady wins the race.
oops, nope, I don't need that. This.
Of course, that didn't come to rogues. We don't like going slow
So
and steady.
yeah, we'll say about 15 miles is all you're really gonna be able to make it in a given day at this point. So
Just like one iceberg.
So you get to there, and you're now far enough in that you are seeing, like, you've seen several different, like, looks of ice at this point. You've seen, like, the individual bergs, you know, ranging from the size of that first one you saw to things that are 3, 4, 5 times as big. And they, tend to kind of just be there. They're kind of like, the boulders in this situation. Then you've got whole fields of like sheet ice that's maybe 3 feet thick. And that stuff, it's, sometimes it's broken up. Sometimes it's kind of like piled up against each other. It's pretty clear that there's not a whole lot to stop the wind up here, and if the wind were really blowing, it would just shove this ice around, and anytime it happens to run into something big like one of those icebergs, it's just going to pile up.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've seen stretches of reasonably open water. That's how you guys are traveling, is there are larger stretches of open water between these things that you just kind of have to navigate. And one of the difficulties is that, the captain has warned you, as you're trying to navigate up here, you can just kind of get stuck. You
Right,
can get sort of trapped. And at that point, it's everybody out, pick up the boat and carry it. Which is why they have a smaller, fairly, light, easy to lift boat. Because 40 sailors can pick it up and move it.
Nice.
So, that's kind of where you are. The afternoon passes. You haven't really seen anything else of note. And it's now the evening. Do you want to... You still want to follow your plan of pulling up onto one of the ice floes and trying to make a shelter?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay.
I also, in between my sonars, I want to be looking out for dragon ice, similar to what we saw in the Skyreach Castle. Because there's supposed to be a white dragon in the area, so I want to keep a lookout for maybe ice that breaks off that looks similar to what we saw in the castle.
Okay, sure.
Just to, like, hey, we're downstream of the dragon's lair or something.
All right.
I have a tent.
Whoa.
You can, if you wish to stay in a tent, that's up to you. Traditionally, we make hollows out of the snow that collects. It actually provides quite good insulation.
It's a much better idea. Maybe we'll use the tent if we can't get snow. At least block the wind.
Sure. And as you find a sizable enough ice floe to kind of pull the boat up on, you see as the sailors have done this a few times. As they pull it up, some are kind of trying to haul it in. Some are being more about trying to lift the thing. But all of them are kind of, they've kind of tied ropes to themselves, and there's a couple of people standing further onto the flow, holding the rope to try to make sure nobody falls in the water.
Some ice anchors kind of thing.
Kind of, yeah. And they managed to get the boat lifted up and onto the flow. There is enough snow around to like kind of move about and make shelters out of. So you kind of watch how they do it and get a feel for it. And they basically say, you know, this should be good for now. It's not very comfortable in squally weather, but we should be fine for tonight.
Well,
I use my elemental.
Go for it, Numa.
Using my elemental attunement to carve out mine and
Nice.
decorate with snow leaves and ivy.
Show off.
Show off.
I love it.
So you've made a very beautiful shelter.
Yeah, if I'm going down in style.
Yeah, I'm just going to assist everyone, make sure everyone's getting in their holes.
All right. So as everyone's battening down, you kind of look around. And, while you're cold, it actually is kind of pretty up here. It's like there's something to the stark wilderness that it makes you appreciate where you come from, but it also has a kind of a special beauty all its own. And as everyone kind of battens down for the night, you each basically hollow out a place in the snow and take your furs and things down there and wrap up in them. And the more experienced people kind of kick, or they show you how to like tunnel down in one spot, just 4 or 5 inches beneath the surface of the snow, and then go over and in to make enough room for you to sleep. And then you kind of collapse the little tunnel behind you. There's enough space for air to still kind of filter down, but not to not so little space that the roof collapses and you're just left out in the open. And as they point this out to you, they kind of, everybody gets tucked in to where they're supposed to be. And night falls. Everybody kind of falls asleep. Things seem pretty good. Perhaps too good.
Is anyone sharing holes, or is it all individual holes?
It's all individual.
Okay.
Unless you would like to share a hole with someone. That's kind of up to you.
It's a grand idea, Xavier. We should conserve body heat. You can come in here with me.
It would be my pleasure. I get in there and I pull out the tapestry of the Red Dragon, throw it over the top of us. So an additional layer.
Unfortunately, there's just simply not enough room in this hole, especially with 2 of you in it.
Oh, okay.
For the tapestry. So as you try to pull the tapestry out of the bag, it pokes a hole right in the roof of your little shelter. And all of a sudden, the very cold air above you starts making its way in.
Where's Numa? He's gonna fix this thing.
And
I can warm up 1 pound of your non-living tapestry. It's an electric blanket tapestry.
We should get a Numa's tent, man. He can make hot water bottles.
Well, while you guys are goofing around trying to figure out how to do this, again, some of the more experienced sailors are like, "Oh, really?" And they recommend a couple of things. One, it's fine if you want to share a hole, but you're going to get a lot of funny looks from everybody else.
We're elves. We get funny looks anyway.
Fair enough. And two, again, you don't poke a hole through the roof of your shelter.
I was thinking we had a little bit more room in there, but fair enough.
Tell you what, Xavier. I want to try something.
Yes.
Survival 101.
I would like to try to crawl like halfway into the bag of holding.
Like your bottom half?
Yeah. So, like, I'm not taking up nearly as much room.
I don't think this is going to do.
Okay.
This is not going to go well.
Make me a dexterity save.
All right.
Or you get sucked into the back. Oh, okay.
Well, as you put yourself like half in, you basically feel it pulling you all the way in. And Xavier, you watch as Aravan goes bloop, into the bag of holding.
Shit. Aravan. I'm calling for Aravan. I'm trying to get out of the bag of holding.
Okay. Well, time out. Allie's calling. She's on travel. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Okay.
Man, maybe we shouldn't try to alter our situation any more than we have.
My thought process was like, oh, maybe I can like hang on like
I know.
it's like the edge of a bag or something and use it kind of like a sleeping bag kind of thing. But I'll take up so much less room that way.
Oh, man. And this is how Aravan dies. Bag of holding.
Boom. It's how he would have wanted to go.
We knew he would die this episode.
Amanda has the portable hole, right?
I've got that.
No,
Oh, shit.
I didn't.
No.
Okay, so
Why
I
did
could
you
have
put
done.
that?
I could have attempted this with the portable hole.
No,
Because
you
it
just
did
put the
kinda have
portable
that.
hole in the bag of holding. That's bad. Don't tell Ben. That's really bad.
I have the portable hole. I could have tried this all with the portable hole.
This never happened. This conversation never happened. Otherwise, there goes all of our money. Just like snaps his finger and he's like instant igloo.
And it's got all the little ice filigree and everything.
That's right. It's my half elf hobbit hole.
He's got like a ceiling fan in there.
Well, at least now we know what the other half is.
That's right. Yeah, I think we're probably going to get attacked by polar bears tonight. But I think that might be better than whatever's in the water.
Yeah. Or being in the water. Ooh.
Yeah, I think I'll take my chances on an iceberg.
Yeah, especially I've been rolling tonight.
You rolled really well on your.
Well,
I don't know
dex
what you
thing.
could have got better. I mean, to not get sucked
I
into a
mean-
bag of holding.
I mean, before that,
Natural
the
20.
other rolls I've had tonight have not
Oh,
been
yeah.
very high.
But somehow you still haven't died.
I know. It's impressive.
He's
It's
got
very impressive.
Cognar syndrome. Just can't die.
We didn't even have to break you out of prison. I'm pretty impressed right now. Because I was all ready to do that.
I was ready to climb into
I mean,
that
you can
house.
still go break into prison.
We would have if we didn't track you.
Do you recall if the dragon that's the White Death is an ancient dragon?
I don't think we've been told.
I have a feeling
I
it's
would
an ancient
assume.
dragon. But there are like rare magic items and tomes in his lair.
Yeah. It's Draghorn.
Well, I don't think it's there because someone used it. But
Well, isn't it like a horn that can be heard like forever away? So
yeah.
Yeah.
it could be there.
Hmm.
Could be anywhere. We're like, hey, let's just go to this really freaking cold place because that sounds like a great place to go.
Well,
Look
if
for
we
a horn.
find this McCoth person, she might be able to locate it. Or she has it. She's evil.
Or she's dead.
Or it's one of her tiefling horns.
Ah,
This one's my Draghorn, this one's my left horn.
Or she's Octavia's sister.
ah.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
You guys were having like a full blown conversation while I was gone. I could like almost hear you.
Yeah.
So what did you decide?
Well,
Tiefling horn.
I don't know if you heard us, but we actually killed the dragon while you were gone.
Oh, really?
Covered the Draghorn.
Dude,
Good day.
that's
The world.
Yep.
good for
It's
you.
pretty intense.
That's excellent.
And then we woke up.
yeah, it was all a fever dream.
Right.
So,
So,
Aravan.
yeah, he's been sucked into a bag of holding
And I'm trying to get him out.
because I decided that there is no such thing as halfway into a bag of holding.
Yeah. Well, now we know.
I
So,
summon Aravan.
You reach in, you think Aravan, and you pull him back out.
Yay!
He realizes, wow, that was a silly idea. I'm never doing that again.
Almost suffocating. How about we just fix our hole and go to sleep?
All right, we'll just make this one a little bigger.
All right, so you guys managed to, fix your hole. And everybody settles in for the night. So, I need everyone to make me perception checks at disadvantage.
Shit.
Oh, I'm proficient with disadvantage.
Good for you.
Oh, mine did it with advantage. 'Cause I have...
What did I
This is
say
a
about
straight
my
roll,
rolls?
right?
Let me try again. I'm sorry. That's my bad. My bad.
Hey, Numa, we're the ones that are.
Oh, that's more.
We're doing
Yep,
great.
that's right.
Perceptive so forth.
All right, so Xavier,
Yep.
Numa. At some point, you hear like banging and crashing,
Hmm.
Okay.
I grab my bow and I dig out my little hole a little bit and stick my head out.
Yeah, I'll investigate the banging and crashing.
Okay. So as you investigate the
I will
banging and
read
crashing, are you just like climbing up out of your hole? Are you trying to like slide back out of your hole?
Definitely sliding out of my hole since we know that there's polar bears in this area.
Yeah, I'm staying low. I'm gonna try to remain unseen.
Okay. So as you guys make your way out, you hear the crashing more vigorously coming from the direction of the boat.
Oh dear.
I knock an arrow and I stealthily start moving towards the
I was going to take the other approach and start yelling intruder.
I see Newman and I'll just message him so it's quiet and I'll say, let's not wake everyone first. You know, we can determine if it's a true threat or not. It could just be icebergs.
Okay, so as you guys wake up,
I have my boots of elven kind on too, so I don't make sound on snow.
okay, that's good to know. So Xavier, I'm gonna stick you right there. Numa, right about there. Figure that's a reasonable-ish sort of location for you guys.
Oh, the snow melted
He's on
overnight.
this.
Yeah. So all that green is snow.
Ah.
And
35 is the boat.
the weird things that look like trees, which are clearly not trees, those are like either other
Sleeping
people's
holes.
spots, sleeping holes,
I like that.
or possibly, cracks in the ice or something.
What does that sign say?
That one is Aravan and Xavier's.
That sign says, "Our boat is here."
Ah.
So, as I was saying,
So I'll point to Numa. You know, you go left, I'll go right.
can you guys see in the dark?
Yes.
Okay.
With
Given
my,
the
you're
size
asking me, the man with the eyes of teacup saucers, whether I can see.
Yeah, you have Dobie eyes.
Well, I guess you have.
I can see.
It didn't. Did it
90
give you
feet in
dark
the dark,
vision or
I
just
think.
blind sight?
I already had. I already had.
Oh,
60
you already had
feet,
dark
and I think
vision,
it took
perhaps.
it to 90. I think it took it to 90.
Oh yeah.
Well,
See where I put that note.
with 60 feet of dark vision, you guys can't actually see the boat.
Okay, I'll move towards the boat.
You doing it quietly?
Definitely.
What's going on?
Yeah. Oh, I'm stealthing. For sure.
Yeah, I'll stealthy as well.
Okay. Let's
Stealth
get
it.
some stealth rolls.
16.
Lucky for that advantage.
I
Oh my god.
yeah. Somehow I'm making noise.
We're not doing very good tonight, guys.
So, I think tokens are, lock tokens. So you guys can start moving.
All right.
All right. So, Xavier.
Yeah, 90 feet. I had my dark vision's up to 90 feet.
So he can see it.
Blind vision,
Yep.
30 feet.
You can totally see the back of the boat.
Awesome.
Oh,
Good to
okay,
know
so I
that-
went 25 feet.
It's good to know the boat's
Yep.
still there.
And Numa, as you're going this way, you accidentally step on someone's sleeping hole.
Oh no!
Awesome.
And
I think I hear a bear.
you basically step right on top. Like, you go straight through what little bit of snow is there, land right on top of them, and they go. And with that, you hear the banging stop.
Oh.
Probably just icebergs.
Oh.
Are you bear calling right now, Numa?
Something is out here.
What you see stick its head up, it was obviously like trying to, get into the boat somehow. But you see this thing stick its head up. And I need you guys to roll initiative.
A capital S.
A capital S.
That's right.
And it's S is for scary.
S for
20.
snow monster.
This episode brought to you by the letter of S.
S. Fucking Numa. God damn it.
Okay.
Numa's on fire tonight, except for.
I saw it first.
Yeah, you did.
I saw the ugly head of the
I
capital
actually
S
can't
rear
see
its
it
head.
So, Numa, you're up and you see something. To you, it looks like. Well, you're not entirely sure what it is. It's large. Like its head is kind of misshapen.
Ooh.
It blends in very well with the snow. And it looks like damp.
Does it, can I tell if it sees me?
You don't know for sure.
Well, I'm going to fully wake the guy I'm laying on top of, and tell him there's a creature here.
And
misshapen.
roll me,
like collapses onto this person.
roll me a d20.
There's a creature here. Ooh.
Unfortunately, you landed in random sailors' sleeping hall.
Oh.
Well, that's fine. I don't care who it is. I'm telling them there's some creature.
Meat shield, get up there. Go.
Come here, sailor.
God.
Okay.
So, are you trying to stay hidden, or are you?
Yeah, I want to see what it does. I'm going to, see what
All
it
right.
does.
Xavier,
All
you
right.
heard. Oof.
I could probably see him fall, right?
Yes, you could see him fall.
All right. And I can see him looking off in that direction. So I'm gonna make my way.
No, actually, you see him fall, and that's about it.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna walk in his direction here, and then say, Numa, are you all right?
Yes, this
Okay, make me another stealth check.
Yep.
plump sailor broke my fall. Very well prepared for this winter climb.
17.
Good
All right.
Lord.
I'm not doing very well.
What a modifier, though.
And now make me a. Let's see. Roll me 2 d20s.
Yep. Oh no.
Okay. You managed to navigate without stepping in anybody's sleeping hole.
Am I within 60 feet of that creature? Just within 60 feet?
Yep, you're just within 60 feet. So, you think you see something over in that direction, too. It's like, it's hard to say entirely. It's kind of blending in with the background. It's just the edge of your vision, but you think there's something there.
I'm going to hunter's mark it.
Okay. Roll me a D100.
Oh, shit. Alright.
Can you light an arrow and like
69!
Okay. You're successfully hunter's mark it.
Aha. I'm just going to attack it.
So is it you've moved?
Yep.
You, I guess, bonus action
Bonus
to
action
hunter's mark it?
Yep.
Okay.
Alright. Am I hidden for advantage?
Well, let me find out. No, you're not.
Okay. Huh. Shit!
So as you
Oh no, I'm gonna die.
you recognize this thing, like you see that there's a creature there. You like point your finger at it, mark it, and as you're like pointing your finger, you're reaching back and drawing an arrow, and in one swift motion, you knock it, release, and it goes right past the thing's head. And that's when you hear the bellow.
Oh.
And
That's a mating call.
all of a sudden, you hear movement
Oh no.
on the other side of the boat.
Oh no.
And running
No.
around this side of the boat
You just had to ask for it to have a mate.
comes another creature just like the one you just shot an arrow at.
Oh no 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 no.
And now that it's getting closer, this is it's a little more intimidating than you thought it was.
Yeah.
It's bounding through the snow without really any trouble, and the snow's like 2 feet deep.
Uh,
And it's just boom, boom.
uh,
And it seems to be making its way right at you.
ooh. Okay.
With that scream, with that yell, however, everybody else can roll initiative.
Oh. I was really hoping to get that attack off.
So now, can I scream?
Yeah, you can scream in response if you feel like it.
Creature!
Alarm!
Okay.
Disgusting S-shaped creature!
It's an ass!
Damn those S shapes.
It must have scoliosis. It's got a curvature of the spine. Watch out.
Okay, so Octavia, roll me a D8.
8.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yeah.
Well, it means that you just ended up right there for your sleeping hole.
Oh, I almost
Woo,
stepped
right
on
in the
your
middle.
hole.
And Aravan, roll me a D8.
Ciao.
Artie's consistency.
So you ended up there for your sleeping hole.
Way out of the way. Damn it.
I thought he was going to put you right under one of the S's.
Underneath the guy that Numa stepped on.
Oh wait, actually, Octavia, you should be right there.
Oh.
That's cool.
And Caden is sleeping quietly.
Caden has he's had late reading. He's just
Nerd.
All right, so that's that guy's turn. Aravan,
Kind of just
you've been suddenly awoken.
bolting right up, like, damn it, Xavier! If you're going to go out in the middle of the night for the bathroom, the least you can do is seal the tunnel. God, that is cold. For standing myself up in order to respond to whatever this roar is, climbing out of my hole. I don't know how much movement you want me to take from that, but then just kind of make my way forward.
But you were prone, so it's 15 feet.
I just didn't know anything for the hole, so.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm just going to start making my way towards the closest thing I can see moving the snow.
All right. Anything else?
If I can see it, I'll let loose with a venom bite.
A what?
Frostbite, only with poison.
Oh.
Alright.
Because he's special.
Special. Okay.
That's fair.
Oh. Because Green Dragon.
Yep, it manages to resist
Versus.
your attack.
Alright. That'll do it for me.
All right.
No.
Next is the one you just shot at.
Yeah, no. Run away.
And it comes charging forward.
Oh,
And-
frighteningly close.
It's going to get right up in your face.
No.
But it took the full 6 seconds to get there, so.
Ooh.
So, Numa, now your turn.
Get it, Numa.
So I'm going to try to use my new Dragon Bone staff.
Oh.
Oh, actually, just real quick, sorry. Octavia, you actually rolled higher initiative than Aravan did, so you should also get to move.
Oh, yay. Okay, so can I see? Okay, I'm getting up out of my hole, hearing noises. Can I see this guy?
Target it.
Which guy?
Are you within range?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I just want to know if I'm able to strike 3.
Yeah, you should be able to see him. You've got
Well, then
dark vision up to 60 feet, right?
Then I am going to attack.
Or do you have 30 feet of dark vision?
She's a human,
60.
so she's only got 30, right, from the goggles?
But you gave me goggles.
Goggles is 30 feet.
30 feet.
Oh,
So, no, you can't see it.
shit.
You
Okay.
can still move towards noise. I mean,
Which one is louder? Because I'll make my way towards that direction.
3 bellowed, I believe, right?
Yeah, that guy yelled and he just charged forward. They're both charging forward, so you're hearing like the muffled sounds of someone running through snow.
Stampede!
Okay. So I'm going to run this way, and then I guess I'll see him, and then I'll keep charging this way.
Okay.
And then it will target him.
You actually only have 15 feet of movement, though.
What?
You were prone.
You were prone asleep.
I was prone. Okay, well then I will target him with a crossbow.
Patwing.
You were sleeping with a loaded crossbow?
Yes. I am in the middle of nowhere.
Are you sure about
And I was
that?
unprepared last time in my pajamas, so I will never let that happen again.
I think it's post-stress syndrome. where
PTSD.
PT and
Yeah.
post-traumatic stress.
she had PTSD from where she slept with that disgusting guy at the tavern.
Bog.
Never again,
No,
she
it wasn't
says. Never
disgusting at the
again.
tavern. The bog place is bad, but the tavern, he was nice. I liked him.
Was he? Man? It's not what I remember.
Okay. So, sure. I'll allow it this time.
Okay.
You have struck him with an arrow.
It didn't do too much to him, so it's okay.
Okay, Numa, now it's your turn.
Now it's your turn,
So
Nula.
I'm going to, I'm going to light my flame tongue quarterstaff.
Nice.
All right.
Dragon flame.
I'm going to move. Where can I move to flank this guy with Xavier? Do I need to move like
You have to be on the far side of him, I think.
to here?
I'd give you that. That's effectively on two sides.
Okay.
Do you fall in another hole? No.
Well, yeah.
So
And
your flaming dragon bone quarterstaff.
yes.
This will be fun.
I'm sorry. I'm just imagining it as we speak.
That'll hit.
Not even with advantage.
Yeah,
Oh,
you might
yeah,
want to roll
I
with
forgot about that
advantage
part.
to see if.
Come on, crit.
All
Don't
right.
click advantage. Just attack again and see if
Yeah.
it.
Nope.
Yeah. That's why we do. Zimmermans don't do rehearsals. Just go with it.
Oh,
All right.
the
And did
first
it do the fire?
it did.
It sure did.
2d6.
Okay.
2d6 of fire damage.
Are you using that two-handed or one-handed?
I'm just using it one-handed,
Okay.
I think.
Cool.
He's punching and stuff on with the other hand.
That's
Yeah, I've
true.
got to keep a free hand for.
I mean,
and
I figure he's the
then-
dragon stomper.
Um,
People in the face.
let's see. I've got to for the stunning strike. It's got to be a hit, right?
Yep. Which that was.
So I'm going to try to stun it.
Okay, so what does it need to make for?
I need to go through this spell. And so I roll the save dice first, right?
Yep. Well, it rolled twice.
I might have been just clicked too many
Yeah, you
times.
double clicked it. So
I heard it.
Sorry.
I heard it.
I'll go with the first one.
Yeah.
And the first one that rolled was a failure.
You stunned it?
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Okay. And then I'm going to attack twice again. So I can hit add, right? Advantage.
Should automatically if it's stunned, right?
Did it put the... is that something I do or something you do, Ben, on putting that condition on the...
I guess I can
effect
add.
button? Did I hit
Yeah, I
the
think you
effect
should hit the effect button.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah.
Oh,
We'll hit it again with this flaming dragon bone. That's
Oh.
not good. That sucked.
That's gonna miss.
Jeez, a stun.
Is that
I'm
a
just
number
so
30?
proud of myself. Jeez. Alright, and then we'll do my bonus unarmed attack. Good.
Oh.
That'll hit.
Lord Almighty. That's hitting in frustration. Hit this animal in frustration.
Well, at least you recognize that it's an animal.
Oh, do I? Good.
All right, Octavia.
Okay, so now I'm ready to complete my movement to him.
Yep.
And I want to hit him with my mace.
Go for it with advantage. That'll hit.
nice. Nice.
Well done.
I smash him in the head. Very angry. I think that's all I can do right.
Okay. Xavier.
All right, Xavier does an epic backflip. Lands 35 feet away. And takes a shot at that same Scrag.
Yeah, we'll pretend you can jump that far.
I know. For effect. Hey, yeah.
Wayne catches his cape.
That was like me playing basketball today. I thought I jumped in my mind.
All right, 28 hits.
was fun.
That was a fun one today.
It was.
I assume a 28 hits, right?
Yes, it hits.
All right. So there's that one. And sneak attack. And where's my hunter's mark? Ta-da!
All right.
And I will try to use a bonus action to hide. I guess.
Where are you hiding exactly?
In the snow.
So you're going to drop prone
No, I'm not going to.
into the snow.
No, that's it.
Okay. All right. So this guy continues running forward.
Uh-oh. Never get between two animals, Octavian.
Here,
I am lunch meat.
You're smushed by the S's.
and here's what I like to call a bite claw. Sorry, excuse me, a bite claw attack.
I don't want that. Thank you.
Does a stunned creature threaten?
I will say that because she was engaged with it, yes.
Okay. Her attention is elsewhere.
Yeah.
She
was attacking it, assuming it was a hostile creature, so
cool.
she believes it's attacking.
Good for future.
Okay, so first attack with advantage is a bite. That's a hit.
No, thank you. You can take all of it back.
That'll be 7 points of damage. Next attack, advantage, the claw. That's gonna hit. And next attack with advantage is a claw.
Oh.
Oh, that's a crit.
Well,
Oh, jeez.
We hardly knew you.
dang.
It's going after
He's
your
not
furs.
playing.
Drop your furs. Drop your furs.
That was its turn.
Okay.
Airvan.
All right,
Oh,
Aravan
double sandwich.
is going to come right up to this guy's backside. Blade in hand, as the blade itself gets coated in these green flames, he's going to take a swing at it with his great sword. 2 swings at it with his great sword. Or,
What?
Yeah, you should get 2 attacks.
okay.
Natural
Oh!
20!
Yeah!
That is what we needed.
We
Yeah.
have a club
Oh.
sandwich right now. Oh my god.
There's that, and then the damage from the green flame blade.
Green Flame Blade, is that the cantrip?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you only get 1 attack, right?
So I think I only get the 1 attack because I'm doing the green flame blade. Basically,
Okay.
casting green flame blade rather than swinging twice.
But because you rolled a crit, I'm going to double those dice as well.
It's awesome.
It is 2d8 for
argue
Green
it.
Flame Blade, right?
Yeah, don't argue.
Double checking.
Yeah, at this level it should be.
Yes.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
only rolled 2.
Sweet. Boom.
Nice. And then
Alright.
you do some damage to Octavia, right?
Absolutely. Murder the hell out of her.
Let's just end this right
Or
now.
that-
So Green Flame Blade, it does jump to an adjacent target, right?
Yeah, but you have
Yes.
to choose.
Okay. Anything else you want to do?
That should do it.
Alright. Well, he was stunned. Or no,
Still
he is
is.
stunned.
Yeah.
Until the end of Numa's turn.
Wait, why did he heal? Oh
That's right.
god. Do we notice that?
I'm going to say no.
Damn. I do have my eyeballs on. Put my glasses on.
Okay. And with that, you hear more charging.
Oh no!
No.
No thanks.
Oh no!
Numa's the
No,
only one that
no.
can see
Where
it.
did they come from?
Oh my gosh!
It's a triple layers. It's a triple decker sandwich.
All right, and Caden is still firmly asleep. Numa, it's your turn.
Oh no!
So he's still stunned.
Yep, until the end of Numa's turn.
Well, I'm going to continue to attack the one in front of me. Oh my gosh!
Okay,
As I feel the
Wait,
breath
read
of
me-
the one behind
read
me.
me Stunning Strike one more time. Because this thing expired, like in the effect in game expired.
Oh, it might be the beginning of your next turn.
I think it's the end because then you can potentially benefit from stunning. It was just the beginning of your
Yeah.
next turn.
Oh, right. It should. Yeah.
So, Stunning Strike, starting at 5th level, you can interfere with the flow of ki in the opponent's body. When you hit another creature with a melee weapon attack, you can spend 1 key point to attempt a Stunning Strike. The target must succeed on a Constitution save throw or be stunned until the end of your next turn.
Okay, so go ahead and
Still
continue to attack with advantage.
So I need to click on advantage, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Because this effect is gone.
Yeah.
Assuming you're attacking it.
I am, yeah. Continue to attack it if I can find it.
Attack it dead, Numa.
Gonna attack it dead.
There it is.
That's a hit.
Better.
All right.
Phew, it's wearing me out. Okay. Well, hit it again. Whoops.
Go ahead and roll another attack.
Well, I guess I have to click that every time, don't I?
Yep. Still a hit.
Go Numa. There's some damage.
Still alive?
It is still alive.
Oh my god, these
Round-
guys are beasts.
Yeah, I think they got a hide on them. They got a hide. Roundhouse.
Oh, I saw that 20.
I thought I clicked advantage on that.
One more.
Again. Hey!
Hey, the roundhouse connects.
He did a double roundhouse. What the?
Dadgummit. I'm in trouble. I'm in a tight spot.
Don't worry, Octavia.
What a
took
tight
it.
spot.
Shoot. I'm gonna try stunning it. Can I do my stunning strike right quick?
You sure can.
Protected? That might be my only chance here. Well, it doesn't matter. That won't take advantage away, will it? For the other one. But at least it won't attack me.
No,
Correct.
yeah, but the other one will still be stunned for possibly.
Doggone, I
You-
did
you
it
double-
again, man.
Well, in this case, no worry, because they both succeeded.
Oh, he's gonna get you, Numa.
I'm about to be tusked or grotesqued by the face or
Grotesque.
whatever. Have we figured out what the grotesque face is about yet?
No, we don't know what these creatures are yet. No one's taken the time to learn.
Where's the captain at?
Sleeping.
Can you eat these things?
They're tired. They've been rowing all day.
You guys are like way more with it. They're still trying to recover. They're not seasoned fighters like you guys are.
Okay.
We're good at killing things.
Is
Let
it
me think
for
of
Numa?
something here. Well, I'm thinking, do I need to step away?
So that is basically what they look like.
Oh,
Oh, they're ugly.
They ugly. Yeah, they ugly.
That's right. They
So
ugly.
that's why we have to kill them, Amanda, because they're ugly.
yep.
Yeah.
She doesn't kill cute baby seals. She kills the ugly ones.
That's right. These are ugly,
Um,
nasty seals.
Well, what I'm going to do is I do think, well, can I do that as a bonus? Well, as my movement, can I? expense a key point and do Step of Wind to disengage.
That's your bonus action, isn't it?
No, my bonus action was my unarmed attack.
Yeah, but I think
It's a bonus
to do
action
Step
use
of the
it.
Wind, you have to use
it is
the bonus action
gotcha.
and your movement to do that.
Gotcha. All right.
So either you take the hits or you stay there and take the hits.
I don't think it's it is just a bonus action. Right?
Right, but then you still have to move.
I understand. Okay, gotcha. All right, so
Stand your ground, Numa?
yeah, I'm just going to herd these things. Where's the picture of this thing? Where's the picture of it?
Skype chat. Okay,
Get to.
Octavia.
Okay, so first things first, I am going to heal myself.
Imagine that.
That's our cleric.
And then I am going to cast Bane.
So,
Holy shit.
well, that's okay. First of all, yeah, let me see the spell. Up to 3
Up to three
creatures of your
creatures of
choice
your
that you can see. Okay.
Hey, there's
Well,
3 of them.
You'll
Wow.
be glad to
Three of
know that the first one succeeded
3.
and the next 2 failed.
Ooh.
Okay, well then there's the effect.
All right.
-2
There.
attack and saves.
Yep.
Nice.
Sweet.
Nice.
Anything else you want to do?
That's all I really can do. Bonus action. I'm not moving.
Okay.
There we go.
Xavier.
Alright, Xavier's just gonna plink another arrow into this guy.
The one in the middle looks pretty rough.
I intend to shoot him.
Well, that's just mean.
Yep. Alright, so 25, I'm pretty sure that hits. For 4 points of damage.
Actually, 9 points of damage.
9 points of
And
damage.
as you sink this arrow into the back of its head, it staggers and falls to its knees.
Can I give it the rest of my damage?
Sure. All right, it's taken a lot of damage now.
Okay. I will bonus action move my hunter's mark, if it is dead, to Scrag 3.
It certainly appears to be dead.
I will move it to Scrag 3.
All right.
Actually, it's not Hex, so I can do that whether it's alive or not.
Told you, can't you only move it when it's like 0 hit points or something like that?
No, that's Hex. I think Hunter's Mark, I can do it whenever. But, yeah.
It just has a bonus action.
You
You can
just
move
a
it.
bonus action to move it. So
Thank you.
I'll move it to Scrag
If not-
3. If I can. Otherwise, I'm not using my bonus action. And I'll just kind of move in this direction. Trying to stay out of range, but in range of these guys.
All right. So it is.
Oh, if your target drops to 0 hit points, then I can move it. So
well,
I dropped it
it did
past
drop.
0 hit points.
It
so.
did drop to 0 hit points.
Can I, knowledge check one of these things? Like, what the hell is this?
Sure. Nature check.
Nature check.
The strange polar bear.
Oh, I'm actually trained in nature. Ha ha!
Very ugly.
You're not entirely sure what the thing is.
It's just
They
a natural
stink. I have a
creature.
feeling they stink really bad too.
They smell very fishy.
That's my turn.
Okay, so Scrag 3, who has a bead on Octavia, is going to. Well, see, actually, you hit it pretty hard.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to turn around and scream at you and attack you.
Wait. I
Real
have
quick.
something
Real quick, also my token still has Sanctuary on it, which I think would have faded.
Oh yeah, definitely would have faded by now. Considering that was several days ago.
Maybe.
Octavia
I
with the
am
flare.
going to cast, yes, on 3. So it has disadvantage. Yeah, disadvantage on the attack roll.
Okay. So disadvantage on its attack against Aravan. I say this is why you guys need to work as a team. Things happen. All right.
An attacker that can't be blinded is immune to this feature.
Well, luckily these guys seem to have eyes.
What?
Not like Numa's eyes, though.
Numa's blinded anyway.
Does this work for one attack or one round?
I think it's just the one
One attack roll.
attack.
The
Here's
attack
the
roll.
warding
So the first
flare.
attack.
When you are attacked, creature within 30 feet of you that you can
Okay.
see, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll. It's just the one roll.
All right. So first attack is the bite. And here it comes with disadvantage. 13. That's going to miss.
Saved you once.
Now comes the claw. Another claw. And the last one hits. Okay. Aravan.
I am going to pull out this sword from the open wound of this guy and take a couple of more swipes at it. This time, not doing the green flame blade, but taking 2 swipes with the sword. So, advantage for flanking with Octavia. Boom.
That's a hit.
For damage.
Very nice.
And as you sink your blade in, you hear it say in your mind,
Oh, no.
"Yes, unleash your fury."
Oh, it's the blade.
Well, I am trying.
That's a hit.
I thought you meant like the creature was
Yeah, that's what I
fucking
was like.
with
No,
that.
not these guys again.
That's creepy.
Wow, good damage.
Yeah.
All right.
You may have almost died in town, but you're ready to play now.
Anything else you want to do?
That'll do it for me.
Okay. Well, definitely not his turn. But it's this guy's turn.
Watch out, Numa.
So, he is going to
He has
target
veins.
Numa.
Smell it.
Oh yeah, you definitely smell it. It smells very strongly of dead fish.
Very
And
disgusting.
And his breath is really, really bad.
Don't go into details.
Like, really,
Not
really
good.
bad. Okay. So, first bite. That's going to be a hit.
Numa.
Wait, did it subtract those? Did the
It
bane?
sure did. It rolled it
Automatically?
and subtracted a -1.
Oh. Oh.
So there's the bite, and now the claw attack. That's going to miss. And it would have hit except for the -4.
Nice. It worked.
Yeah.
And another attack. That's going to hit.
Damn.
Man, these guys are good.
Okay. And Numa, you've now taken a bite and a swipe from this thing in front of you.
So I got it. Do I have it targeted? I can't tell.
Drag one.
Yes, you do.
Feeling this smelly sushi ass. Attack.
That's a hit.
Nice. Ooh, Numa.
Then, oh, what the heck? Let's just go for it.
That's a miss.
Numa.
That's a hit.
I'm gonna try to stun this guy.
All right.
Man, Numa using
Just
them
once.
key points.
Just once.
I did it once that time.
You did,
Yay!
but it saved.
Oh.
It resisted your stunning strike. So as you're channeling your key through your fist, you slam it into this thing. And just like Kung Fu Panda, it just kind of dissipates across its body.
Oh.
You stink.
Whoa.
Anything else?
Nope, I'll wait for the next turn.
Octavia.
Okay, I'm going to target Mr. 3. He's my mace.
That's a
Oh,
hit.
but wait,
Nice.
I get advantage, yes?
You
Oh, well,
do.
it hits anyways.
Well, you might get a 20.
But
I
you
roll
might
again
crit.
on the off chance I get a nat 20?
Hey,
No, nat
20.
Or a total of 20.
Right.
That is a total 20.
Take it.
Very well done. Anything else you want to do?
I will heal Numa. Mayahi.
Very minor healing.
I do what I can. And that's what I've got.
Xavier.
Alright. Seeing that the top scrag is being handled, I'm going to help Numa here. I'm going to try to plink him right in that big, fat, smelly eye of his.
In Numa's eye?
Yep. Nope.
Ooh, you came dreadfully close to hitting him in the eye.
Oh, that's weird. That didn't actually roll on my...
It rolled a 2 on mine.
Yeah, it's... Oh, there it goes. It's fucking through. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's a miss.
Yeah, my turn.
All right. So,
Really wish I had another attack.
Drag 3. Going to... Well, you would have another attack if you'd just gone straight rogue, wouldn't you?
No, rogues only get one attack.
Then how did dude always do dagger, dagger, dagger? No, he's hasted for 1.
He's always
you can
hasted.
do the,
And technically,
second
you're not
swing of
supposed to
the
be able to throw
dagger.
2 daggers.
the second swipe of the dagger as the offhand as a
Right.
bonus action.
See, there you go. So you could be dual wielding daggers and you'd be fine.
Yeah, but I don't have a blink belt, so...
I didn't say you had to throw them. I said just dual wield them.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to get next to this thing.
Anyway, so this guy is now he's still attacking Aravan, who's done substantially more damage than Octavia has.
Aha.
Comes the first attack, is the bite again. That's going to miss. Claw. That will hit. 14 points of damage. Another claw. That's going to miss.
Aha.
Aravan.
I'll show you how you leave a wound.
That's a hit.
Bam.
It's still standing.
One more swing. One you'll remember till the end
That's
of your
a hit.
days. Ah.
Still
Still up.
Everything he ever's been. That guy's still dead. But this one isn't. So, focusing once again on Numa. You've got the first attack.
Pretty healthy for a rotten fish smelling guy.
Oh, wait, he shouldn't still have Bane on him, should he? Oh, I guess he should. The first guy just resisted, that's why. Okay. So, that's a miss. Claw. That's it. Ooh, for 15 points of damage. Claw. Oh, it's a miss. And only because of that stupid -3.
Yeah. Octavia doing work.
Okay. Well,
All for you, Bug Eyes.
Numa.
Okay. Phew, I'm exhausted. This guy's tough.
Okay, so that means you're going to have disadvantage on.
Ability checks.
That's it.
Jeez, Numa.
Ooh, that was a good
Now,
one.
that's a good roll.
That was a good roll.
You definitely caught him right upside his stinking head with your flaming dragon bone staff.
Stinking head. for
Getting
sure.
mad at him.
Clearly.
So did I hit?
Yep, that's a hit.
I think 15 is the magic number.
And look at you.
Jeez.
Ah!
Numa.
37 points of damage that
And
round.
you still have a bonus.
Heel strike!
Heel kick.
Ah!
Oh my god, Numa! He's on fire!
Yeah, the guy literally is on fire now.
Nearly max damage that whole round.
Well done.
Amazing what happens when
20,
I
37,
put my mind to
45 points of
something.
damage.
It was only 6 points short of max.
Uh-huh. Jeez.
But he's still standing.
Yeah.
Octavia.
That's not right. But let me, make this guy one more time, because I'm doing a lot of damage.
Makes him in the eye.
Just like Numa.
That's
advantage.
Advantage. There it is.
I'm going to start
Yeah.
disallowing advantage when you guys you just roll and don't ever click it.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot there's a button there.
But you
You do it
forgot
automatically.
every time you attack.
I only attacked him twice.
I still say, from now on, you're not going to be able to kill my creatures because I'm not going to give you advantage.
That's fair. And then let me use my so high of healing on Numa once again, since he's doing all the damage for me. You're welcome.
Yep, there's your very minor healing.
I am so good at healing people.
Do you just have something against healing Numa or something?
And
Savior.
that's my turn. You guys kill them off the ground.
I guess I'm just gonna shoot this thing.
You're
Yep.
going to miss.
And I'm gonna miss. Here we go. You know what?
You
I'm,
get up
That's
and
the
close.
spirit.
Gotta get up and close because after a couple rounds you get used to the smell.
yeah. I really want this guy to die, so I'm gonna knock a Patriot arrow.
You're going to do one of your +1 arrows?
I'm gonna do one of my +1 arrows.
Okay.
Fuck!
That +1 arrow goes whizzing right by Numa's head,
Oh Lord!
plunks into the back of the boat.
Yep. Well, I might as well.
I love how if you rolled a 4, it would hit.
Yeah, I know. It's not my night. Alright, so I'm gonna use my my movement and bonus action to set up for Numa.
That's it, Rogue. Enter the fray.
All right.
My bow, so I'm gonna have to
Caravan.
stab this thing.
Xavier, I fully expect you to repair any damage you've done to that ship before you climb back into my port. As I come charging up to the last guy that's left.
Do you want me repairing the boat? I already broke our ice hole.
Yeah, twice.
Such an eyesore.
And swinging the sword at this guy a couple of times.
That's a hit.
Ooh.
That, however, is going to miss.
Ah. Alright, and that'll be me.
All right. Well, this guy's not very keen about being surrounded. But he is keen about killing Numa.
He should be. That's the way I want it.
So, here comes the bite. That's a hit.
Come on, sardine breath.
Then here's a claw. That's a hit.
Jeez.
Here's a claw.
You're rolling good.
That's a miss.
Usually I'm dodging all your monsters.
Not today, friend.
No.
Yeah, normally you're not dealing 50 points of damage in a round either.
Hey, what can I say?
that new staff, man,
Yeah.
doing work.
I didn't really think about the fact that since he gets multiple attacks and the staff has 2d6 damage every time it hits,
Yep.
I should make it have like a penalty to, he takes 1d6 damage every round because it's on fire.
I would have got an asbestos glove.
You take
Then I would have
1d4
given you
necrotic
asbestosis.
damage.
Yeah, but it would have been like 50 years. I don't think they'd have been more.
Numa, you're up. You and your
Alright,
stupid flaming staff.
Watch, he's gonna miss. Nope.
Just wait till I get one of my dragons out here.
Oh, jeez.
I've got as many as I want.
Now you see what you've done.
We'll have plenty of time for that later, Ben.
Was that a
That's
hit?
a hit.
Jeez.
You successfully murdered the last of the Scrags.
Yay, Numa, we can go back to sleep now.
Now, if somebody would like to
Oh.
do a nature
He
check
murdered-
better than what Xavier managed,
Nature check. Yeah, I don't know what I just killed.
Yep.
I just know it was ugly and
Oh my
smelly.
god.
No,
Nope.
very unfamiliar with this landscape.
Can someone go wake up Caden and have him identify what the hell these creatures are?
Octavia, you want to try?
Do you have any idea?
Nope.
She's got a -1 on nature.
It's intelligence.
How does that happen? Oh, I thought
So-
maybe she just didn't like to be out
Literally the blonde of the group, guys. I only like
Finally, the captain is moving about trying to make sure everyone's safe.
I run and
He
pull
was-
my arrow out of the boat.
Unfortunately, the magic
Can I
was
hurry and
expended
heal
as soon as you
everyone
shot it.
That's fine.
afterward?
And I cast mending on the boat. The arrow hole.
Good deal. What you find is that the captain comes up and he sees these things. He just he looks actually kind of impressed. We've had to deal with Scrags before, but never without losing at least a man or two. Usually we just have to try to light torches and drive them off. Never actually been able to kill one. But surely you are strong adventurers if just the 4 of you can kill 3 ice trolls.
Oh, the trolls. Explain their bad breath.
You should see what the 5 of
I
us
need
are
to-
capable of when everyone.
Do we
builds it.
need acid or fire in order to dispose
Yeah,
of
we
the
need to
bodies?
need to burn these guys.
Strangely enough, even though you guys didn't know they were trolls,
You hit them with fire the whole time, right?
you hit. Yeah, Numa was using his flaming stick,
That's true.
Aravan used his green flame blade.
Oh well, there you go.
Wow.
We knew exactly what.
I think Aravan was cheating. I think Zen may have known what they were.
I took the first swing with Green Flame Blade, but after that, I didn't. Because I wasn't sure.
The other one should pop up then. Ah, shoot it.
I don't know if magic
I think
weapons
Numa hit
or
both
necrotic damage would
Oh,
do
necrotic
the
should stop. Well,
I don't know.
it'd stop healing. I don't know if it stops regeneration.
No, there was enough damage dealt to it, I think, fast enough that it didn't get a chance to regenerate.
Oh.
We are monsters. Take that
But
ice soul.
This is an excellent place to call it for the night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to crawl back into my ice hole.
I'd ask somebody to point me in the direction of
You know-
Aiden's ice hole just so I could stomp over it on my way back to bed.
Asshole.
You know, Numa. I always suspected you were into a good ice hole.
I'm going to pull my head out of my ice hole and see what's going on around.
I cast mending on my ice hole.
Unfortunately, you can't mend that.
Yeah, the Skags ripped a new one.
Beyond is there.
Yeah.
Yes, perfect.
You need more scrags, just like you need another ice hole.
That's right.
Okay, we've had enough fun with that. Well, welcome to the frigid north, guys.
There's going to be a lot more ice hole puns, I think, going to be happening.
Well, now there has to be. Bar's been set.
Can we assume before next time we go back to bed and get a rest? Or are you going to make us rest when we come back?
Yeah, we'll see.
Non-committal. I understand.
All right, Chip. I'll see you in the morning.
Yep.
I will try not to forget your coffee.
If you're going by Dunkin' Donuts. If you're not planning on going by, don't worry about it.
No, I will be, because I have to get coffee in the morning.
Oh, Ben, I got a coupon you can use.
I just know
Awesome.
sometimes that's your routine.
Yes. And since going to Area A, I can go straight down to Colonial Heights and stop at that one. I have to get gas in the morning anyway, so.
Okay. We'll see you
2
then.
creams and a sugar.
No.
Well, make his coffee get
Apparently Chip likes his coffee just like he likes his women. Strong and black. Oh.